Hi, I'm Sean Kelly with DNA Surface Concepts, and I have to say that I'm a genius when it comes to taking care of the home front, especially when it's on the waterfront. And we have a multitude of products within our Ceramic DNA brand that are high test, high performance, really easy to use. And I'm just going to give you a couple tips today on what products to plug in where around the home to make it easy. Of course, under that smooth ownership guideline that we're creating, we're going to give you the power to take care of your own materials at home. So waterfront properties, especially when you get to this echelon of the high-end premium builds, you're going to have a lot of different materials. So there's a lot of things to deal with on different time schedules. And the goal of smooth ownership is just to make it so it is streamlined and you can have one aftercare product to take care of it with just one annual inspection versus having multiple people, multiple companies engage with those materials throughout the year. So one thing that we can say is we can take care of metal railings that you'll find, cable railings especially because they are extremely hard to deal with the stainless braids. Very, very corrosion attraction for the waterfront. It's actually one of the hardest things to take care of. Of course, we have furniture. This may not be something that we would actually do a ceramic coating on. It kind of gets to be a little bit redundant sometimes with the powder coating itself being so high quality. So what do we really need is just a surface care product. So within our product line, we have Regen-X to take care of powder coated furniture and different types of framing. And then of course, the almighty outdoor kitchen. And for those of you chefs out there, this is gonna be one of the things that you're gonna love. For me, this is what it started on. And it was just simply trying to make sure that we don't have any issues with trying to keep corrosion off of the grills throughout the year because it takes multiple times. Let's say you have a kitchen and you decide that you wanna protect it. You're really left with only a few things from the marketplace. Oily finishes are not good, and that's generally what you find is these oily sprays that you're gonna put on. They attract dust and dirt, and yes, of course, they will hold on to the salt that comes out of that salt air as well. So we made it a mission to figure out which coating out of all of the things that we know would be the best candidate to not just go for 1 year or even 2 years, but to go upwards of 5 or 6 years and even sometimes permanent. And even the best coatings out there all require some maintenance. So we coupled it with our Regen-X product and we made sure that it was very easy for the homeowner to take care of afterwards. So we talked about earlier the cable railings. These would be the challenge here, not the square tubing. So the square tube, this was done over a year ago. They were having complications trying to find something that was gonna work. I was brought in to consult on this and figure out what was gonna be the best. And we actually were able to use one of our best coatings, our Permex. It's a very high solids, high performance coating. And this has been prepared and treated now for 14 months. And the cables are always gonna be the hardest part, especially if they already had corrosion damage, because the corrosion kind of goes down inside of those braids. So we're able to monitor that, and that's the whole thing with us with smooth ownership. We're just trying to make sure we also stay on communication. When something does arise, let's say there's a little bit of tea stain or some rust that starts, we can get to it then, and even down to recommending replacement of these and doing a treatment from when they're brand new. We would also go that route as well. But if you just look over this, and this is all around the house, this hasn't changed really at all in the entire 14 months that it's been here. That is double thumbs up. So one of the major benefits of having a glass coating like this that's so high tech and built for this environment is that even with the accumulation of residues, now this could be from the corner of the house, maybe some oxidizing paint or even bird droppings coming off of a roof. The one thing that we want to see is that we're able to take something like acetic acid or vinegar, and be able to just kind of skim this right off the top and have our coating still sitting there underneath. And that's exactly what we can do. So we're able to clean this 100% with very, very little effort to get back down to that beautiful look that we wanted. And again, when the coating is bonded chemically, it's not gonna go anywhere. And the Magic Eraser at this level of coating, this is not gonna do anything to this treatment. So that's the good thing. You can pull the contaminants off the top, retreat it with Regen-X, and go back to your life. So then there's a lot of other little pieces around the house. Of course, we have a shower trim right here. The Delta shower trim is one of those things that will corrode pretty quickly. A lot of different grades of materials, and their performance outdoor, it's kind of scattered, even down to little stainless doors. These are all things that are going to require somebody to wax or polish, or use stainless steel cleaner on, or steel wool. That's labor. So the biggest thing that I can drive home is, once you set something like this up, you can have that performance go year after year with simply a wipe down. And that is why I want to harp on that so much. It's the wipe down that matters. It pulls the material really quick. Anything that would be on the surface comes right off, and that keeps it fresh so the coating can perform and shed things off of it. Once you start to let dirt and other things pile up on top, you're going to hinder the performance of the coating. So once a month wipe downs, very easy, very straightforward, and we use one product for that. So we can take a look down here. Now, coral stone, everybody knows that these things attract dirt just because of how many pockets and crevices that they have. So naturally, they're going to be a great source for algae or mildew to grow. But this was done just the same. This is just under a year ago that we treated this after pressure washing it and removing what was there. And we doused this in a very, very strong paver coating, one of the more high-end that are in the industry. They really cannot be found in Sherwin-Williams or Home Depot. As I looked throughout our mission, they were not something that are easily found, not at the level that we're trying to be at. So we have an extremely strong silicone composite coating here that can be put on, and of course you can always overcoat that as well when it comes time for reapplications. But this projected to go to about 2 or 3 years, maybe even longer. And of course, because there's crevices and pockets, there's going to be dirt that piles up, and therefore things are going to grow. But the whole goal is that we can rinse it with a strong hose pressure, or even just a light pressure wash, and get rid of it with no chemicals needed at all. So as I walk around the home and do a console, what I always look for are problem areas, of course, but you can see the easy ones, which are door handles. So every single door handle and hinge that goes around a property, all of these are going to be susceptible to corrosion. And when I found out how much some of the hardware cost, I was shocked, believe it or not. And it made sense to me to be able to say, hey, for $150 for a door handle, that's it. To be able to do an anti-corrosion treatment that lasts almost forever in a way, it made total sense to me. So that's what we're trying to harp on here with smooth ownership. And part of that, again, just comes back down to not having to actually have other people come in and do polishing and the maintenance, and even having that happen for you still isn't a guarantee that you're going to protect the material. Okay, so yeah, you're having somebody clean it, but where's the protective factor? Any wax is going to only stay on for a couple months. So I was very surprised to see the railings. Of course, we have sprinklers hitting this side. We always knew that. And the very first beginning when we did this, there was water spots occurring on the bottom tube here, and we got them into a regimen of wiping it down with Regen-X and just spraying it on and wiping it in, to the point now where this actually appears to be very, very clean, even though there's not much maintenance being done to it besides a microfiber towel and our Regen-X product. Another key to our whole smooth ownership program, of course, is our condensers. Now, being in the big leagues, you're gonna have sometimes 3, 4, 5, I've seen 6, 7, 8 units outside of properties. Now, these properties are obviously massive. That is a whole different category, but they cost a very pretty penny, and they can fail in as little as 2 years. Now, that's data coming from the AC companies who install them, and this is also from homeowners. We're trying to compile to see what kind of data there is out there and how often they actually fail because of saltwater or salt air corrosion. Now, we're able to take these panels off and actually create a cleaning. So we created a cleaning system. There's a tool that we were able to find that would clean all of the fins and the cooling parts that are in here. And of course, that goes down to the blade and of course the envelope, the casing around it. This would be a spray application where we would have a substantially much thicker layout. That way we don't miss anything, especially when we run it through a gun. We can pretty much treat everything. And that's one of the things that we're pushing forward to, just to help the homeowner keep their AC systems in check and hang on to that piece of equipment a lot longer. And sometimes this has already been known, double or triple the lifespan. If you add up all the money that you have into your condensers that are outside, you're gonna really find that replacing them every couple years is not gonna be very cost effective. So instead, treating them would be the best way forward. Taking another couple feet around the house here, we've got stainless steel. Now this was not treated yet, so this is great to show because you can actually see where we're starting to get some corrosion, starting a little bit of tea staining here on the stainless box. And this is exactly what we can stop. And if you just get a close shot here, you'll see what I mean. This is never gonna end. So what does it require? Somebody's gonna come out here with some type of cleaner wax, metal polish, bar keepers, whatever they decide to use, and they're gonna go do this, and then it's gonna happen again. And this is why we do this. This is so that we can control the material. And even still, you open these up and you'll notice right down here, we've got corrosion inside. So it is really smart to do something like this. And again, this may be only 150 bucks to do it one time, and that'll probably get you down the road. Touch-ups are very easy, so you would never see this overall rust happen again. It just might be a little corner here and there where you have interference parts, hinges, things like that. But those are the little things. And once you start to add all those up around the house, then you have a really good plan as to all the different things that you can protect. There's another reason that we are testing materials all the time. It's so that we can actually figure out what will be the best application. Railings, popular style of railing. And you can actually see this is something that we put on about a year ago, and it's held the color. So you'll see that this is actually starting to oxidize. So the atmosphere is interacting. It's getting to the point where it's going to be chalky. It's already faded. And of course, there's a clear distinction as to where we have put a treatment on. That's one of the things that we can do. This would be a spray application. Better to do it when it's brand new, but that's if that interests you. Every clientele is different. You know, some people actually don't care because it's hidden in the bushes. Some people actually want that. These are all options for you through Smooth Ownership. So you know, our company, DNA Surface Concepts, has been a pioneer in the coating industry with regards to the marine applications. And that also falls right under the Smooth Ownership operation. Now, what I like about this is we're able to help the home. We're also able to help the marine vessel out back, the boat that's sitting there for fishing or fun. And of course, in the garage, we've got the automotives that are sitting there. We can help with that as well. And the reason that we really like the idea of Smooth Ownership and why we're driving hard on that term is because we're able to help reduce the amount of effort, the labor, the cost that it takes to care for all these materials within your life. So you have a waterfront property, you have the boat, you've got the cars in the garage, and there's so many other things within that inside the house with marble countertops, showers. There's a lot of things that we can help make it easier to maintain. And believe it or not, the coatings don't change that much. Now we do have specified products for different materials, but the idea is really remaining the same. But the best part is the aftercare is very, very streamlined. We recommend the same exact products that we use on the boat to use on the house and on the car. Keeping with simple, that is why we say Smooth Ownership is possible here with DNA Surface Concepts. So another simple thing, stainless steel box, but it's down on the dock. I cannot obviously stop junky hardware from failing, but this box has been like this since last year. Doesn't even have a speck of rust on it, and it's sitting right on the Jupiter inlet. So these are all little tiny applications that go a really long way. There's so many things. So if you want to have more information sent to you or even have a personal consult done, you can contact us today at 561-328-7302. If you want an alternative, you can simply shout out to us on the DM and ask for Sean or Shar, and we will get with you really fast because that is part of what we do at DNA. We want to help customers. We're in a hurry to serve, and by gosh, we're going to get it done. Lastly, if you're working around the house and you're just trying to clean up for yourself or for an incoming party or afterwards, whichever one, Slick AF. Great for the tabletops, great for the chairs. You can be very liberal with this. It's fast acting. It does leave a non-stick surface. There's no magic here. Again, this is just a great product to use with that ceramic-like finish. This would not be as protective as the Regen-X, however, it is extremely smooth. So not only will you notice, but so will your guests. If waterfront property is where you're at, then DNA Surface Concepts would absolutely be able to help you. We'd love to partner with you and help you with all the different materials that could go awry around the house. And of course, our consults are free. You just have to reach out to us via the social media, call us by phone, and we'll be there to help you.